Okay, so this one's quite tricky to get the hang of. The picking pattern's quite hard. The easiest way to get the hang of it is to break it down and go really, really slowly. And if you're struggling with it, I really recommend using a metronome to make sure you're not speeding up on the parts you find easy and slowing down on the parts you find hard. We're going to break it down into the bass part, which we're going to be playing with the thumb, and then the melody part, which we'll be playing with the other fingers up on the top strings. So it's a really simple chord pattern. You're just going to be playing C and then alternating, so you're playing the bass on the G. Then switching to the F, which we're only going to play up on the 4th string, so you don't need to worry about the rest of the shape. You can just play with those 3 fingers there. And then back to the C. And that's our main chord structure for the verse. There are some other bits that we'll go into as well. So with the thumb, you're going to be playing 1 and again and again and again. So I'd recommend you, although it sounds silly and it's really easy to do, spend a while just playing that and getting really, really comfortable with it before you start adding in the melody part. So the melody section, you're mostly going to use your first finger and your little finger to play, okay, but you're going to be keeping your hand in the shape of the chords that we were playing before while you play them. Alright, so to start off with the melody pattern, you're going to put your little finger on the 3rd fret and then take it off, and then move it down to the 3rd fret of the string below. Then the 1st fret with your 1st finger, okay, and then the 2nd fret on the G string, but your finger will already be there when you're playing your F chord, which I'll show you in a second. Then the second time through you play the same thing, but this time that G string will be open. Then again with the finger on the G string. Then to finish, you're going to play that 1st fret again on the 2nd string, back to the 3rd, then open, and the top string. So all the way through, that's so those are the 2 separate parts. Obviously putting them together is the hard part. I'll include a tab below for you to have a look at, and then I'm just going to play through it really slowly and then talk a little bit about which notes are falling together, the bass note and the melody, and which ones are falling separately. So I'll play it through slowly first. So the melody we're going to play, most of the notes fall at the same time as the bass notes. There's only a couple of notes in each phrase where the melody lies between the bass notes. It's useful if you can to think of it in relation to that as to which ones fall with the bass notes and which ones fall between, just because the bass note's going to be constant all the time in the same rhythm. So it gives you a solid grounding to know where you are. So to go through it step by step, the very first note we play is going to be one of the ones that falls between bass notes, so on the offbeat. Okay, so that one there falls between 2 bass notes. Then with a bass note, then you can move up to your F chord, again play the melody with the bass note, and the same with the next note, and then the next note you can play straight afterwards between two bass notes. So just play that whole thing for you. Then exactly the same rhythm, just on different strings the second time round. Same rhythm again. Then to finish off, you're going to play an offbeat first, then with a beat, again with the bass note, then against, then with. So that's the main riff of the verse. Every second time you play through the verse, it ends slightly differently. Okay, so instead of playing, you're just going to move the whole shape down into a G chord. Okay, so just using your middle two fingers there and playing an open B, and then you're going to hammer on first fret on the B string and second fret on the D string. Okay, so to play that through, you get. And then you're back into your main riff again. Okay. If you listen through to the song, you'll hear when those parts come in. So there's also a bridge section, which is a slightly different chord structure, but the same kind of picking idea. All right. The chords are going to be a D minor, then an A minor, and in that A minor you're going to jump down to the G, and then back to the A minor. Then you're going to start playing your main riff again. And then playing that little F section that we talked about. Okay. The picking pattern for the first part of that bridge there, I don't have down exactly, I basically just play through it. So I'm just going to be playing alternating bass line for the D minor, and then adding pretty much random notes in at the top there. Okay, so really I'm playing the first two together, then after that I'm just alternating between the two. Again, I'm just alternating the bass line there. And then just making sure I catch that bottom note for the G, then back to the A minor, and then back into your normal picking pattern. The very last section of the song goes like this. We're still keeping going with the bass notes, but our little finger in the top melody is going to be slightly different. So we're going to play. Okay, so that's just playing an open top string, and then the third fret of the second string down to the first fret and back, and then the first fret and open. Okay, and just like we've done for everything else, unfortunately you just have to go really slowly with the bass line and fit everything in. Okay, I'll do that once more for you. The very last section, you're going to put all 3 fingers up onto the top string for the first 3 frets and then pull them off one at a time. Then you can put your middle finger onto the 2nd fret of the string down and slide it up to the 5th fret. Then move it down a string, slide it down to the 2 and pull off. That's on the 4th fret, on the 4th and 2nd strings. Just slide it down a fret, then just play a C. Then you're going to put your index finger on the 3rd string